Hello, loyal fans and subscribers, Ninamori Fanboy here. It is currently week 5 in the PBF. You may have noticed week 4 was skipped. This was due to my opponent not showing up nor responding to my messages, and I won via forfeit. That was against the Golden State Gudras. And this week, week number 5, we are taking on the San Francisco 40 Arcaniners. I cannot believe I said that correctly. Anyway, this is going to be a strange team building preparation video because I actually already had the battle. You know, I usually make these videos before having the battle, then upload the videos right after the battle, but I actually had the battle already, so I'm going to try to not spoil anything in this video. I'm just going to list my team building process I made, prior to the battle. Just pretend I didn't have the battle, I guess. I'll try to pretend that as well as I go throughout this, and hopefully nothing will be spoiled, and we'll just pretend this is a normal team builder. So, as I mentioned, this week we are going up against the San Francisco 40 Arcaniners. I will list his team right after I list mine, if you're unfamiliar with mine. Mine is Mega Metacham, Talonflame, Starmie, Swampert, Mamoswine, Noivern, Granbull, Quillfish, Mega Steelix, Persian, Magmortar, and Carbink. And the Arcaniners have access to Mega Pinsir, Raikou, Hawlucha, Suicune, Chandelure, Roserade, Ambipom, Dugtrio, Exploud, Prinplup, Aurorus, and Swellow. As you can see, a lot of threatening Mons are on this team. However, if you're noticing what I'm noticing, there's one particular Mon that I really don't have much for. That is Suicune, the number one threat on this guy's team. Remember at the beginning of the season when I said I desperately wanted an electric type or grass type? This was the reason, to hit bulky water types, and I have absolutely nothing like that to hit Suicune with. So this was definitely an issue that immediately came to mind. Like, the team that I prepared is built specifically around taking out Suicune, and then any other threats can be dealt with, in a roundabout way, but the main threat is that Suicune. That's what I'm preparing for anyway with this team I made. So, I guess first things first, looking at his potential hazard setters and removers, I believe his only form of hazard removal is Defog on Prinplup, if it can learn it. I know Empoleon can, I don't know about Prinplup for sure, and maybe Swellow. Other than that, he doesn't really have much. With that in mind, I desperately wanted Toxic Spikes, and, Stealth Rock if I can get it up. And, Spikes, of course, if I can get them up. But the main priority is Toxic Spikes. He does have that Roserade that can come in and remove them if he decides to bring it. And for that, I'm bringing, other members. But for Toxic Spikes, I, of course, have my main and the MVP, Quillfish. I, of course, have Intimidate and Black Sludge and Toxic Spikes. I also have Spikes just in case I can set them up. Taunt in case I'm up against, something like Suicune that can set up. I think I speed tie with Suicune, so, it'll come down to a bit of luck maybe, but there it is. I also have Poison Jab, and that's all 4 moves. So yes, that's the Quillfish. As I mentioned, Toxic Spikes are a huge priority for me. I'm most likely going to lead with this Quillfish. Toxic Spikes is definitely going to be one of my win conditions in this battle, not just for the Suicune, but a lot of his other members. Like, the only thing that can, of course, remove it is the Roserade. And, like I mentioned, the other potential defoggers, like, I think is Prinplup flying? I don't even know. Either way, I don't think no, it's never type flying, it becomes steel, wow. Hawlucha, Swellow, and maybe, I think that's it, and Roserade are the only ones that are unaffected by the poisoning, so that's definitely a good option in my opinion. And to check those 3 Mons of his that are unaffected by the Toxic Spikes, I have, of course, my Talonflame. It destroys Hawlucha and Roserade. Swellow probably will die to because its defenses are pretty bad. This T-Flame isn't just, a check to those mons, though it is of course my late game setup sweeper. I have Jolly Nature this time, max attack, enough speed to outspeed Raikou, which I think is like 172 points at level 50, and Sharp Beak, just because. I have Brave Bird, Flare Blitz, Roost, and Swords Dance. Pretty standard, but I think it'll definitely put in work. His only flying resist is that Raikou, and I do have Flare Blitz and enough speed specifically for that, so I definitely foresee this Talonflame putting in massive work. To complement my Talonflame, I of course have my Rapid Spinning Starmie, Timid, Life Orb, you know the standard Starmie, Rapid Spin, Hydro Pump, Psyshock, and I opted for Thunderbolt instead of Ice Beam just because it hits more stuff more effectively. I guess it really only affects the Suicune, but as I mentioned, Suicune is just such a massive threat. Any potential advantage I have over it is worth dropping Ice Beam for Thunderbolt in my opinion. As I mentioned, I felt Stealth Rock would be helpful, but not necessarily necessary. So I am bringing my Focus Sash, Adamant Mamoswine with Stealth Rock, Ice Shard, Icicle Crash, and Earthquake. The Focus Sash is not for setting up Stealth Rocks because Stealth Rocks isn't a true priority, but more or less, if like Hawlucha is at +2 speed or whatever, and I can't KO it with Ice Shard, then I can, take a hit, or same with Mega Pinsir, or any huge threat, like anything that isn't Suicune, like any of his other threats. I don't think Raikou can damage me much unless it's like Choice Specs, HP Grass, but other than that, I think I can do well. Like, Scarf Chandelure can, take me down to Sash, and I can Revenge Kill it with Earthquake. Roserade, I might straight up be able to take out with Ice Shard, because its physical defense is pretty pitiful, I've recently discovered. Other than that, yeah, I think Mamoswine is all around good. So, yeah, there's that. In my second to last slot, I have my Intimidating Granbull, just, for like Hawlucha or like Swellow or his physical threats like Mega Pinsir maybe. That and the fact that he doesn't have a Play Rough resistance other than Chandelure. So he has 2 Play Rough resistances, but quite a few. Well, one major weakness in Hawlucha, and the rest just hits hard. Like, it hits really hard. So I'm definitely going with Adamant, max attack, and max HP. Play Rough, close combat for, like, Aurorus, Thunder Punch for the Suicune and Hawlucha and Mega Pinsir, and Toxic in case I'm up against Suicune and need to Toxic it, like if it wasn't, like if it rested or something and got rid of the Toxic that was hopefully initiated by my Toxic Spikes. That's my Granbull anyway. He's just there to, tank some hits and hit hard back. I think he can do well. I have faith. And finally, in the last slot, we have what could potentially be the most important member, Persian. I'm opting for a Choice Banded set this time with Return, U-Turn, Knockoff, and potentially the most important move this battle, Switcheroo. The ultimate goal of this Persian is not, of course, to hit hard with its Choice Band, but to cripple Suicune by switcherooing the Choice Band onto it so it can't rest and get rid of the Toxic that is initiated by my Toxic Spikes. Anyway, that is the ultimate plan for this Persian. It's also got, Knockoff to hit Chandelure if it's like Choice Locked into Shadow Ball or something. And, Return to do solid damage. U-turn for initiative. I thought about getting rid of Knockoff in case, I trick the Suicune. I wouldn't want to risk him switching back in and me knocking off its Choice Band. But I kept it just for Chandelure, basically. So, yeah, that's Persian. And actually, that's the entire team. So let me list it once again. I have Quillfish, Talonflame, Starmie, Mamoswine, Granbull, and Persian. I am missing a few quote-unquote staple mons, like my either Mega actually, Medicham or Steelix, and Swampert. I felt they could do good. Well, Swampert could do okay, I guess. He's got Chandelure and Roserade that scare it, but other than that, it does pretty well. And as far as Medicham and Steelix, they do well against some members, but some members, they can't do anything against. So it was kind of a toss-up. I felt they would do good, but I felt the 6 I have now would do the best out of my total roster. So that's why I chose the 6 that I did and didn't chose the 6 that I didn't. So yeah, anyway, that's the team. This is normally the spot where I would say I hope I do well, but that wouldn't make much sense since I already know the outcome of the battle. But I'm not going to spoil anything in this team prep vid, so just look forward to that battle, and I don't know what else to say. Thank you for watching, and have a good day.